Good morning, everybody. This is Alee with Start Your Day the Best Life Way. It's great to be here. I've been gone for a couple of weeks on a big family vacation, which was wonderful, but really glad to be back here with you and starting up these Facebook Lives again. So today I want to talk about um, this idea of it's just an expansion of a lot of the things we talk about at Best Life, which is following your feel good emotions to get wherever it is that you want to go, whether that's a big picture, dream, or goal, or just having a really, really wonderful, satisfying day. So I'm going to start. I usually save this till a little bit later, but I'm going to start by reading a couple of things out of Manifest Your Desires with Esther and Jerry Hicks. So I'll read a couple of these little entries. It's supposed to be 365 days, like a devotional, but I usually read them in little sections. So it says, consider this question. If I am in Phoenix, Arizona, and my desire is to be in San Diego, California, how do I get about getting to San Diego? The answer to this question is easy to hear. No matter what your mode of transportation, by air, by car, or even by foot, if you face the direction of San Diego and continue to move in the direction of San Diego, then you must reach San Diego. So this is one of those things that I love that Abraham Hicks does, where it just kind of breaks down these bigger principles, and this is something we can really relate to. If there's a destination that we want, we just have to set ourselves in at least the general direction of that destination, and we will get there. There might be stops along the way. I know before Google Maps, what I would have when I do a lot of road trips by myself, I'd have all these pieces of paper with printed out maps or my big atlas in the car seat next to me. And sometimes I'd get mixed up and take a wrong turn. But my intention was to get to my destination. And even if there were a few wrong turns along the way, there really wasn't a lot of doubt in my mind that I would get there eventually, right? And I love this analogy for our goals and our desires, that if we have the intention, if we are facing the thing, if we're turning towards the thing that we want, we will get there. We will get there. Oh, all these people just popped up. Hi, everyone. Hi, Jen. Hi, Tracy. Nice to see you guys. I can't see everyone always for some reason. So anyone else that's here that I haven't greeted, thanks so much for being here. So I'm going to go on and read the second, or another entry that has to go with this as well. It says, once you understand the clarity that your emotions provide, you will never again not know what you're doing with your current thought. You will always be aware of whether you are, in this moment, moving toward or away from your intended goal or desire. Your awareness of the way you feel will give you the clarity that you're seeking. Once you have the knowledge that you're moving in the direction of your desires, you may begin to relax a little bit and enjoy your fantastic journey. So I love pictures, analogies, thanks, Jen. Different ways that we can break these things down and really take them in and apply them to our lives. So I like the idea of, when we have a destination, we face it with our intention, with our emotions. And for us, our GPS, our Google Maps, our Apple Maps is our emotions. So when we're facing the thing that we want, the place we want to go, whether that's a physical place or an emotional place or a goal, we know we're on track when our emotions basically are in a place of satisfaction or above, right? Those are indicators that we're on track. That's our GPS saying, okay, keep going straight. The next 100 miles and then take a right at, Hawthorne or whatever it is. And hi Mary, when we start to feel out of alignment, when we're maybe took a wrong turn, that's when we'll start feeling discontentment, dissatisfaction, even frustration, um, anger, disappointment, all those things. They're not bad emotions. There's nothing bad about them. They're just indicators that maybe you're not really fully facing your intended, desired outcome. And we talk a lot about this emotional guidance chart or emotional guidance system. And if you've seen any of the printouts that kind of have to do with this, you'll see a scale that looks like this. Like this is contentment, satisfaction, like a very general place. And higher frequency emotions kind of are higher up on a scale this way. And lower frequency emotions obviously are kind of going down. But I kind of like flipping this over a little bit. And if you can think of the thing that you want, your goal, your destination, whether, like Esther's talking about, it's driving to San Diego, or, whether it's a business or a relationship or just an improved sense of satisfaction. Instead of thinking of the emotions this way, you can also kind of think of it, how she's talking, as a destination. So if I think of the thing that I want, kind of like the sun, like I want to travel west and I want to get to the sun, I'm going to follow the sun, and I'm going to follow the feelings. Oh, it's great that you're here, Mary, because we call you sunshine all the time. I'm going to follow the feeling of the sun being on my face. I'm going to follow the feeling of warmth, of openness, of moving towards more of that warmth and openness and light. And so you can think of, your emotional guidance system, not just feelings like this, where we always see them kind of on a scale going up or down, but even that turning towards something. If I am straight on facing the sun, going towards the sun, I'm going to have the most warmth and light on me. If I start turning away from that, I'm going to start feeling some different things. And if my back is completely turned to the sun, I won't feel that warmth on my face anymore, right? Or directionally, if I'm just going in the wrong direction. So, it's that Beatles quote, like, tomorrow may rain, so I'll follow the sun. Just that idea of finding that intention of facing the thing that we want, and knowing that when we face it, that our good feelings are that feeling of warmth, openness, expansion. It's going to be what guides us to that very place. And I kind of like in the quote too that Esther's saying that, we don't really, it could be the mode of transportation could be anything, air, car, even foot. And sometimes we might feel like, we're going on foot on a journey that requires a jet plane, and can feel a little bit frustrated with that. But this is where that knowingness that we've set a course and a destination that we want to accomplish, but we're only part of the whole package, the whole group, the whole story, I guess maybe is a better way, because we also have our inner being that is guiding us, that knows the times when it's okay to be on foot, and in an instant we need to be on a jet plane, can get us on a jet plane. Our inner being, our source, that's what's working behind the scenes to actually get us where we need to go in the way that is most accessible to us. So our job really is to try to face that path, face the thing that we want, as fully as we can, as joyfully as we can, knowing that feeling of warmth or expansion are good feelings of satisfaction, contentment, excitement, passion, joy. Those are the indicators that we're on the right path. And the speed of the journey or how we're going to get there, I mean, we don't like take our GPS apart and try to make sure that it's wired correctly. Like we don't go back to the manufacturers and say, I'm not sure if you did this right, and I'm not quite sure. I mean, now we're so used to most of the time trusting our GPSs, right? Um, we don't really question too much whether they're going to get us to the right place or not most of the time. I know sometimes it can be a little bit quirky here and there, but generally speaking, you know, we can trust that guidance. We have examples of that in our life where our job is to get in the car, point the car in the right direction, right? And it's our choice how we want to feel along the journey. And I don't know about you guys, but I do a lot better listening and paying attention to my GPS when I'm feeling good and satisfied. Um, and it is all about trusting that our inner being is going to do the work to get us where we want to go. I think it's quite profound and sometimes baffling to us that our job really is to feel good and try to feel a little bit better. And when we notice that we're not turned towards the sun, we're not turned towards the things that we want, that, you know, that's not even necessarily a bad thing. It's just an indicator that we might have stepped off, right? I just got back from a really, really long road trip, and it was really nice to know when we took a wrong turn, our GPS saying, turn around when possible, turn around when possible. Or, you know what I love too? I'm finding that I don't hear that as often anymore in a GPS, as the GPS just just course corrects. There isn't even a like turn around, you made a mistake, as much as there is that, oh, you want to try this way? That's fine. I know that you still want to go here. And instead of going this way, which might have been a little more direct, we're just going to do a little loop-de-doo and come up here, but we're still going to come back ultimately to where you want to go. So even those little places where sometimes we feel like we might have stepped off the path a little bit, it's okay, because again, ultimately, our inner being is guiding us. Our inner being knows how to get us where we need to go. And sometimes those side journeys, they could seem like they were a mistake or a wrong turn, but they lead to more adventure and they lead to more satisfaction if we allow ourselves to look at them that way. You know, if we allow ourselves to go, well, you know, this maybe wasn't my full intention, but I'm just going to go along for the ride. I know my inner being is going to take me back to where I want to go, and maybe there's a little bit of extra adventure or a little bit of extra blessing on the side. And actually, I'm just reminded of kind of this crazy story. So a couple years ago, I went to a BestLife retreat in Norway. It was amazing, life-changing, so beautiful. On the way home, two other besties and I were leaving the hotel in Norway, and we were on a local bus. The bus driver didn't speak very much English, and actually there was some confusion about, I hope you guys can hear me, my headset just dropped off. So there was some confusion about where to drop us off. So we thought there were two bus stops. We thought he said to stay at this one, but really the bus stop we needed was around the corner, and everybody else knew about this bus stop except for us, because we were tourists who didn't speak Norwegian. So we were waiting basically at like 11 o'clock at night on this kind of deserted country road by this dinky little sign that had a bus on it for our bus to come that was going to take us to the airport. And of course, you know, an hour into waiting for that bus to come, we realized we must have been in the wrong place. So we started, you know, and we were supposed to get on our airplanes the next morning. The airport was 8 hours away. So we were in a little bit of a pickle. And instead of panicking, we started thinking about like trusting our source, trusting that something was going to work out. We started brainstorming. We got really goofy and danced and were really playful about it. I mean, it's great to be in the situations with other people who can understand that the universe can work these things out, even if they seem like kind of dire circumstances. So eventually, I mean, we just stayed in this really playful place. And eventually we flagged down this Norwegian guy who spoke English, and he got basically the bus schedule up, and kind of at the same time, two people from our hotel came with a van. And we worked out that if we left right then, we could actually catch the bus that we were supposed to be on, um, while it was at a scheduled stop. And you know, we had Bree, who's one of our amazing BestLife instructors from Norway, I think, called the bus company. They knew we were coming. It was this whole incredible production. And but it worked. I mean, somehow, instead of us missing the plane, that was going to leave, you know, in 8 hours, somehow, some way, everything was timed perfectly. We got on the night bus basically just in time, after hours of, again, manifesting and trying to be, and just being playful with it, trying not to listen to our fears about missing our plane. Really, if we missed our plane, what's the big deal? There's always going to be another one. But we'd manifested like the right people at exactly the right time. And then when I got on my plane, I was in such a high vibrational place. Like I mean, I had just witnessed the universe do all of these things to help us get on our plane. I was feeling incredible. And I ended up sitting next to, this is crazy, guys. I ended up sitting next to somebody who, my mom is from the Philippines. I sat next to someone who went to high school with my mom on the plane home from Oslo, Norway, and just had an incredible conversation with her. Hadn't slept the entire night, but just felt so much of that love and appreciation and knowingness of the goodness of the universe, the goodness of my source to have my back, which kept me open for this incredible encounter with, you know, this woman that knew my mother from the Philippines, of all places. So all of this to say that when we are able to face we know where we want to go. And we know that despite anything that seems to come up, if we can continue to face our destination, our journey, and again, that can be just having a great, satisfied day. That can be your journey. That can be your destination, or the bigger picture things, right? All and both of those things. It's all about just keeping your face turned towards that intention, turn towards that emotion, turn towards the things that you want, and then, you know, letting your emotions guide you on whether you're really facing and embracing that or not. So when the little side journeys come up, you know, whether it's we make a mistake and get off the wrong bus or take the wrong turn or whatever it is, no matter what's happening around us physically, if we emotionally can keep facing the thing that we want, as much as possible, you know, staying in the warmth and the sunshine of our source leading us and guiding us, then even the things that seem like missteps can be great adventures. They can be ways to further really understand that the universe has got you, that your inner being has got you, that it's really not about, you know, when you get there, it's how you get there emotionally. You know, how, like, my trip was so enhanced by that seeming mistake. It's because it was that life experience of feeling that, you know, something kind of went amiss and the universe still worked it out in another country, you know, 8 hours away from the airport, on a, you know, supposed to be on a bus the entire night and missed it somehow. And it still worked out. And if we would have missed our plane, it still would have worked out too, you know. But my job was to keep myself as much as I could in a place of satisfaction and above, in playfulness, in expectation that everything was going to work out for me, because it always does. So when we're facing, just when we're facing life, again, it really is our job just to keep tuned in as much as possible to our good feeling emotions. And when we feel that shift away from facing the sun, or that shift away from satisfaction and above, just finding a way back, understanding that it's just an indicator that we stepped off course a little bit. And that's okay. We want our GPS to tell us when we've stepped off course, but then being able to expect that we'll be back on course again. You know, that just by tuning in emotionally to the well-being that that God, that source energy is always beaming down on us, tuning into that well-being means that there's always going to be a course correct. You know, that you'll always be back on track, and there might be some more adventures along the way as well. So I'll just read these two parts over again. Just because it feels kind of nice to bookend things here. It says, consider this question. If I'm in Phoenix, Arizona, and my desire is to be in San Diego, California, how will I go about getting to San Diego? The answer to this question is easy to hear. No matter what your mode of transportation, by air, by car, or even by foot, if you face in the direction of San Diego and continue to move in the direction of San Diego, then you must reach San Diego. The next page says, once you understand the clarity your emotions provide, you will never again not know what you are doing with your current thought. You will always be aware of whether you are, in this moment, moving toward or away from your intended goal or desire. Your awareness of the way you feel will give you clarity that you've been seeking. Once you have the knowledge that you're moving in the direction of your desires, you may begin to relax a little bit and enjoy your fantastic journey. Oh, I love that. So let's just take a second. Let's take a second here and just do a little bit of visualization. You know, imagine yourself. Actually, let's just take a deep breath together. If you can, if you're not driving or working, and you can kind of settle in and close your eyes and just relax for a second. Let your shoulders get loose. Your face and your neck muscles just relax. Feel yourself sink into your chair. And just visualize how good it feels to have the warmth of the sun on your face. And that as that warmth of the sun comes to you, it's nourishing you. It's filling you up, bringing you satisfaction, contentment, well-being. Know that the sun is guiding you closer to it, that the warmth and the openness is inviting. Know that there is a constant, unending, unbreaking stream of well-being that flows over you every second of the day. That, like feeling the warmth of the sun, that you get to tune into it, enjoy it as much as you want throughout the day. And that if you have a moment where you get distracted or you forget that it's there, it doesn't matter. It's still beaming on you 100% of the time. The sun doesn't stop shining just because we forget it's there. It keeps shining. And we just get to tune back in, just make some adjustments to get back into those beautiful beams, those nourishing beams that are pulling us closer to who we are, that are guiding us on our journey. Let's feel love and acceptance in those beams. Unending, unconditional well-being, always calling you closer, always bringing more to you, always there to help you expand and move more into yourself. Knowing that the clarity of where you stand comes from your emotions, that you have the power to tune into this as much or as little as you want, that you get to be the author of your fate. You get to choose. You are so powerful. You are so loved. Just let those sun's rays penetrate into your skin, into your bones, into your heart. Just feel the warmth, the acceptance. And just take a second to relish in your worthiness, that you came here worthy to enjoy the rays of the sun, the expansion, this fantastic journey. And that here, right now, today, you were worthy of tuning into everything the universe has for you. You're worthy of joy and contentment and satisfaction, expansion and passion. You're worthy to move into the fullness of who you are. That when we're in our alignment, when we're in a state of allowing, there's nothing that we can't be, do, or have. So just stay in that place of well-being, worthiness, warmth, expansion. Take it with you the rest of the day. You know, when you have those moments between moments, driving your car or, you know, walking to the break room at work or whatever it is, you know, try to just tune back into that warmth, that expansive feeling, and keep it with you. Okay, that is me for today. Thanks so much for being here, and we'll see you next time. Bye.